Okay, so welcome back to my channel. This is my second live stream for reading the book of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. So, my first live stream, I read about the introduction about this book and I gave some ideas and insights. Tonight I'm going to read the part one of this book, and just give a comment down below if you have an opinion about this part one. I will just be reading the part one tonight, and then in the future I'll be reading the succeeding uh, chapter of this book until we finish everything. Okay, so this is the part one. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Imagine that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. One day, long ago, the Martians, looking through their telescopes, discovered the Venusians. Just glimpsing the Venusians awakened feelings they had never known. They fell in love and quickly invented space travel and flew to Venus. The Venusians welcomed the Martians with open arms. They had intuitively known that this day would come. Their hearts opened wide to a love they had never felt before. The love between the Venusians and Martians was magical. They delighted in being together, doing things together, and sharing together. Through from different worlds, Though from different worlds, they revealed in their differences. They spent months learning about each other, exploring and appreciating their different needs, preferences, and behavior patterns. For years, they lived together in love and harmony. Then they decided to fly to Earth. In the beginning, everything was wonderful and beautiful, but the effects of Earth's atmosphere took hold, and one morning everyone woke up with a peculiar kind of amnesia. It's a selective amnesia. Both the Martians and Venusians forgot that they were from different planets and were supposed to be different. Good evening, Robert. How are you today? Okay. And I'm doing great here. Um, Reading this book again. Mabuti po. Oh, your Tagalog is improving. That's wonderful. Okay. Kamusta? Mabuti. Mabeauty. Okay. And in one morning, everything they had learned about their differences was erased from their memory. And since that day, men and women have been in conflict. So, remembering our differences. Without the awareness that we are supposed to be different, men and women are at odds with each other. We usually become angry or frustrated with the opposite sex because we have forgotten this important truth. We expect the opposite sex to be more like ourselves. We desire them to want what we want and feel the way we feel. We mistakenly assume that if our partners love us, they will react and behave in certain ways. The ways we react and behave when we love someone. This attitude sets us up to be disappointed again and again, and prevents us from taking the necessary time to communicate lovingly about our differences. Okay, and there is highlighted in this book. I will read it to you. We mistakenly assume that if our partners love us, they will react and behave in certain ways, the ways we react and behave when we love someone. So that's the highlighted part. Men mistakenly expect women to think. communicate, and react the way men do. Women mistakenly expect men to feel, communicate, and respond the way women do. We have forgotten that men and women are supposed to be different. As a result, our relationships are filled with unnecessary friction and conflict. Clearly recognizing and respecting these differences dramatically reduces confusion when dealing with the opposite sex. When you remember that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, everything can be explained. Okay, and now let's talk about the overview of our differences. Yes, men and women are totally different when it comes to thinking. Um, Okay, throughout this book, I will discuss in great detail our differences. Each chapter will bring you new and crucial insights. Here are the major differences that we'll explore. In chapter 2, we will explore how men's and women's values are inherently different and try to understand the two biggest mistakes we make in relating to the opposite sex. Men mistakenly offer solutions and invalidate feelings, while women offer unsolicited advice and direction. Through understanding our Martian, Venusian background, it becomes obvious why men and women unknowingly make these mistakes. By remembering these differences, we can correct our mistakes and immediately respond to each other in more productive ways. In chapter 3, we'll discover the different ways men and women cope with stress. While Martians tend to pull away and silently think about what's bothering them, Venusians feel an instinctive need to talk about what's bothering them. You will learn new strategies for getting what you want at these conflicting times. So everybody is experiencing stress. Even babies, they experience stress. So when they are crying, it means they are in stress. Even dogs, even animals, they also experience stress. So it's the same as men and women, but uh, we have different ways to handle stress. Okay. Now we will explore how to motivate the opposite sex in chapter 4. Men are motivated when they feel needed, while women are motivated when they feel cherished. So you see the difference. So men are motivated when they feel that they are needed. Means like you ask help from them because they have this hero feeling that they always want to be. That they always want to be a hero of for their women, but for women, uh, we are motivated when we feel we are cherished. So we will discuss the 3 steps for improving relationships and explore how to overcome our greatest challenges. Men need to overcome their resistance to giving love, while women must overcome their resistance to receiving it. In chapter 5, you'll learn how men and women um, commonly misunderstand each other because they speak different languages. A Martian Venusian phrase dictionary is provided to translate commonly misunderstood expressions. You will learn how men and women speak and even stop speaking for entirely different reasons. Women will learn what to do when a man stops talking, and men will learn how to listen better without becoming frustrated. In chapter 6, you will discover how men and women have different needs for intimacy. A man gets close because a man gets close but then inevitably needs to pull away. Women will learn how to support this pulling away process so he will spring back to her like a rubber band. Women also will learn the best times for having intimate conversations with a man. Okay, so that rubber band is, we we always I always see that I in the social media, the post, they will always say that I need to have uh some time for myself, and then they sometimes say it's my me time. So for men, they sometimes pull away. They just wants to be alone, to think. But for us, for women, if the man like have a distance from us, we feel we are not loved anymore, and then that's the start of the conflict. But I just read that the best way to deal with that one is like let them go, because like it's just like a rubber band. Like they will pull to the best that they can, and then they will stretch it, and then it's just like a rubber band. It will stretch, and then like it has a limit, and then it will goes back. So so if happen that if your man will have a distance from you, like a space, just give them space because they need it, and then they will come back. For sure they will come back. So just leave it like that. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, and we will explore in chapter 7 how a woman's loving attitudes rise and fall rhythmically in a wave motion. Men will learn how correctly to interpret these sometimes sudden shifts of feeling. Men also will learn to recognize when they are needed the most and how to be skillfully supportive at those times without having to make sacrifices. In chapter 8, you'll discover how men and women give the kind of love they need and not what the opposite sex needs. Men primarily need a kind of love that is trusting, accepting, and appreciative. Women primarily need a kind of love that is caring, understanding, and respectful. You will discover the 6 common ways you may unknowingly be turning off your partner. In chapter 9, we will explore how to avoid painful arguments. Men will learn that by acting as if they are always right, they may invalidate a woman's feelings. Women will learn how they unknowingly send messages of disapproval instead of disagreement, thus igniting a man's defenses. The anatomy of an argument will be explored along with the many practical suggestions for establishing supportive communication. In chapter 10, we'll show how men and women keep score differently. Men will learn that for Venusians, every gift of love scores equally with every other gift, regardless of size. Instead of focusing on one big gift, men are reminded that the little expressions of love are just as important. 101 ways to score points with women are listed. Women, however, will learn to redirect their energies into ways that score big with men by giving men what they want. In chapter 11, you learn ways to communicate with each other during difficult times. The different ways men and women hide feelings are discussed along with the importance of sharing feelings. The love letter technique is recommended for expressing negative feelings to your partner as a way of finding greater love and forgiveness. You will understand why Venusians have a more difficult time asking for support in chapter 12, as well as why Martians commonly resist requests. You will learn how the phrases could you and can you turn off men and what to say instead. Yeah, could you and can you is different when you say when you use the word would you. So would you means um, you are really not directing them to do something, but it means like they have an option to say yes or no. But for the word could you and can you, it means they have no chance to say no. Like you have to do it like that. Okay, so you will learn the secrets for encouraging a man to give more and discover in various ways the power of being brief, direct, and using the correct wording. In chapter 13, you'll discover the four seasons of love. This realistic perspective of how love changes and grows will assist you in overcoming the inevitable obstacle that emerge in any relationship. You will learn how your past or your partner's past can affect your relationship in the present and discover other important insights for keeping the magic of love alive. In each chapter of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, you will discover new secrets for creating loving and lasting relationships. Each new discovery will increase your ability to have fulfilling relationships. So, the good intentions are not enough. Falling in love is always magical. It feels eternal, as if love will last forever. We naively believe that somehow we are exempt from the problems our parents had, free from the odds that love will die, assured that it is meant to be and that we are destined to live happily ever after. But as the magic recedes and daily life takes over, it emerges that men continue to expect women to think and react like men, and women expect men to feel and behave like women. Without a clear awareness of our differences, we do not take the time to understand and respect each other. We become demanding, resentful, judgmental, and intolerant. With the best and most loving intentions, love continues to die. Somehow, the problems creep in, the resentments build, communication breaks down, mistrust increases, rejection and repression result, the magic of love is lost. We ask ourselves, how does it happen? Why does it happen? And why does it happen to us? To answer these questions, our greatest minds have developed brilliant and complex philosophical and psychological models, yet still the old patterns return. Love dies, it happens to almost everyone. Each day, millions of individuals are searching for a partner to experience that special loving feeling. Yeah, that's why there are so many dating sites nowadays. Okay, each year, millions of couples join together in love and then painfully separate because they have lost that loving feeling. From those who are able to sustain love long enough to get married, only 50% stay married. Out of those who stay together, possibly another 50% are not fulfilled. They stay together out they stay together out of loyalty and obligation or from the fear of starting over. Very few people indeed are able to grow in love, yet it does happen. When men and women are able to respect and accept their differences, then love has a chance to blossom. And the highlight of this part is when men and women are able to respect and accept their differences, then love has a chance to blossom. Through understanding the hidden differences. Hello, hi everyone. Hello, Ren26 TV. You can make friends with Texpat Robert Rice. Some of the viewers that joining my live stream, they making friends with each other. And Texpat Robert Rice is living in Tugigaraw, but he is an American guy. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, through understanding the hidden differences of the opposite sex, we can more successfully give and receive the love that is in our hearts by validating and accepting our differences. Creative solutions can be discovered whereby we can succeed in getting what we want. And more important, we can learn how to best love and support the people we care about. Love is magical. Yeah, kano. Love is magical and it can last. if we remember our difference. So remember, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Okay. So I think since it's still have a time, I can still read the chapter 2. So the chapter 2 is dang 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 dang. Mr. Fix It and the Home Improvement Committee. Committee or committee? Okay. The most frequently expressed complaint women have about men is that men doesn't listen. Is it true? Is it true, Robert? Men doesn't listen? Okay. So for all my viewers out there, is it true? Give me a comment that man doesn't listen. Are you a man? Are you not listening? Okay. So either a man completely ignores her when she speaks to him, or he listens for a few bits, assesses what is bothering her, and then proudly puts on his Mr. Fix It cap and offers her a solution to make her feel better. What? It says in the book that men men don't listen. Is it true? Okay, so let me continue. Um, he is confused when she doesn't appreciate this gesture of love. No matter how many times she tells him that he's not listening, he doesn't get it and keeps doing the same thing. She wants empathy, but he thinks she wants solution. The most frequently expressed complaint men have about women is that women are always trying to change them. When a woman loves a man, she feels responsible to assist him in growing and tries to help him improve the way he does things. She forms a improvement committee, and he becomes her primary focus. No matter how much he resists her help, she persists, waiting for any opportunity to help him or tell him what to do. She thinks she's nurturing him while he feels he's being controlled. Instead, he wants her acceptance. These two problems can finally be solved by first understanding why men offer solutions and why women seek to improve. Let's pretend to go back in time, whereby observing life on Mars and Venus before the planets discovered one another or came to Earth. We can gain some insights into men and women. So, what is life on Mars? So, what is life on Mars means the life of the man. Martians value power, competency, efficiency. Okay. Ren, Ren 26 TV, you have new subscriber from TechSpot Robert Rice. Okay. So just comment down there and I'll read your comment. Okay. So what is the life on Mars? So Martians value power, competency, efficiency, and achievement. They are always doing things to prove themselves and develop their power and skills. Their sense of self is defined through their ability to achieve results. They experience fulfillment primarily through success and accomplishment. As I said a while ago, that man has this heroic instinct that they always want to be a hero. They always want to help, and they always wants to show that they are the hero for their woman. So a man's sense of self is defined through his ability to achieve results. So that's the man. Everything on Mars is a reflection of these values. Even their dress is designed to reflect their skills and competence. Police officers, soldiers, businessmen, scientists, cab drivers, technicians, and chefs all wear uniforms or at least hats to reflect their competence and power. They don't read magazines like Psychology Today, Self, or People. They are more concerned with outdoor activities like hunting, fishing, and racing cars. They are interested in the news, weather, and sports, and couldn't care less about romance novels and self-help books. They are more interested in objects and things rather than people and feelings. Even today on Earth, while women fantasize about romance, men fantasize about powerful cars. So that's the difference. Okay. So men fantasize about powerful cars, faster computers, gadgets, gizmos, and new, more powerful technology. Men are preoccupied with the things that can help them express power by creating results and achieving their goals. Achieving goals is very important to a Martian because it is a way for him to prove his competence and thus feel good about himself. And for him to feel good about himself, he must achieve these goals by himself. Someone else can't achieve them for him. Martians pride themselves in doing things by themselves. Autonomy is a symbol of efficiency, power, and competence. Understanding this Martian characteristic can help women understand why men resist so much being corrected or being told what to do. To offer a man unsolicited advice is to presume that he doesn't know what to do or that he can't do it on his own. Men are very touchy about this because the issue of competence is so very important to them. Okay, to offer a man unsolicited advice is to presume that he doesn't know what to do or that he can't do it on his own. So that is the main statement in this passage. Because he is handling his problems on his own, a Martian rarely talks about his problems unless he needs expert advice. He reasons why involve someone else when I can do it by myself. So that's the man. He keeps his problems to himself unless he requires help from another to find a solution. Asking for help when you can do it yourself is perceived as a sign of weakness. However, if he truly does need help, then it is a sign of wisdom to get it. In this case, he will find someone he respects and then talk about his problem. Yes, you are a Martian, Robert. No doubt about it. You are a Martian. So, however, if he truly does need help, then it is a sign of wisdom to get it. In this case, he will find someone he respects and then talk about his problem. Talking about a problem on Mars is an invitation for advice. Another Martian feels honored by the opportunity. Automatically, he puts on his Mr. Fix It hat, listens for a while, and then offers some jewels of advice. This Martian custom is one of the reasons men instinctively offer solutions when women talk about problems. When a woman innocently shares upset feelings or explores out loud the problems of her day, a man mistakenly assumes she is looking for some expert advice. He puts on his Mr. Fix It hat. I should have that one. I should make a Mr. Fix It hat. Okay. Maybe next time. Okay. Um and begins giving advice, and this is his way of showing love and trying to help. He wants to help her feel better by solving her problems. He wants to be useful to her. He feels he can be valued, thus worthy of her love, when his abilities are used to solve her problems. Once he has offered a solution, however, and she continues to be upset, it becomes increasingly difficult for him to listen because his solution is being rejected and he feels increasingly useless. He has no idea that by just listening with empathy and interest, he can be supportive. He does not know that On Venus, talking about problems is not an invitation to offer a solution. So for us, when we talk about our problems, we are not asking for the help. We just need to say it out loud to like release that stress, and we just want somebody to listen to us. So now let's talk about the life in Venus, the life on Venus. Venusians have different values. They value love, communication, beauty, and relationships. Okay, they spend a lot of time supporting, helping, and nurturing one another. Their sense of self is defined through their feelings and the quality of their relationships. They experience fulfillment through sharing and relating. So, the highlighted part in this part is a woman's sense of self is defined through her feelings and the quality of her relationships. Everything on Venus reflects these values rather than building highways and tall buildings. The Venusians are more concerned with living together in harmony, community, and loving cooperation. Relationships are more important than work and technology. In most ways, their world is the opposite of Mars. They do not wear uniforms like the Martians to reveal their competence. On the contrary, they enjoy wearing a different outfit every day. Yes, that's the woman. That's why when you ask, that's why even if you have the partner living together with you, I think like uh, 70% of your closet belongs to the woman, and just 30% belongs to the man. And then if you will ask her, just wear any kind of clothes if you will go out, they will just tell you that she has no dress to wear. But the closet is full of clothes because we love to wear different clothes every day. We love to be, we like to be pretty, look pretty to other people, not only to our men, but we want to be pretty to other people. Okay, where am I? Okay, they do not wear uniforms like the Martians to reveal their competence. On the contrary, they enjoy wearing a different outfit every day, according to how they are feeling. Personal expression, especially of their feelings, is very important. They may even change outfits several times a day as their mood changes. Um, Communication is of primary importance. To share their personal feelings is much more important than achieving goals and success. Talking and relating to one another is a source of tremendous fulfillment. This is hard for a man to comprehend. He can come close to understanding a woman's experience of sharing and relating by comparing it to the satisfaction he feels when he wins a race, achieves a goal, or solves a problem. Instead of being goal oriented, women are relationship oriented. They are more concerned with expressing their goodness, love, and caring. Two Martians go to lunch to discuss a project or business goal. They have a problem to solve. In addition, Martians view going to a restaurant as an efficient way to approach food. No shopping, no cooking, and no washing dishes. For Venusians, going to lunch is an important opportunity to nurture a relationship for both giving support to and receiving support from a friend. Women's restaurant talk can be very open and intimate, almost like the dialogue that occurs between therapist and patient. On Venus, everyone studies psychology and has at least a master's degree in counseling. They are very involved in personal growth, spiritually, and everything that can nurture life, healing, and growth. Venus is covered with parks, organic gardens, shopping centers, and restaurant. Okay, yes, women love to go shopping even we don't have money. if, just window shopping sometimes is better for us, like just to feel better. Venusians are very intuitive. Okay, they have developed this ability through centuries of anticipating the needs of others. They pride themselves in being considerate of the needs and feelings of others. A sign of great love is to offer help and assistance to another Venusian without being asked. Because proving one's competence is not as important as Venusians, offering help is not offensive. And needing help is not a sign of weakness. A man, however, may feel offended because when a woman offers advice, he doesn't feel she trusts his ability to do it himself. A woman has no conception of this male sensitivity. Because of her, it is another feather in her hat. If someone offers to help her, it makes her feel loved and cherished. But offering help to a man can make him feel incompetent, weak, and even unloved. So you see the difference? On Venus, it is a sign of caring to give advice and suggestions. Venusians firmly believe that when something is working, it can always work better. Their nature is to want to improve things. When they care about someone, they freely point out what can be improved and suggest how to do it. Offering advice and constructive criticism is an act of love. Mars is very different. Martians are more solution oriented. If something is working, their motto is don't change it. Their instinct is to leave it alone if it is working. Don't fix it unless it is broken. It is a common expression. When a woman tries to improve a man, he feels she is trying to fix him. He receives the message that he is broken. She doesn't realize her caring attempts to help him may humiliate him. She mistakenly thinks she is just helping him to grow. So give up giving advice. Without this insight, um, okay, without this insight into the nature of man, it's very easy for a woman unknowingly and unintentionally to hurt and offend the man she loves most. For example, Tom and Mary were going to a party. Tom was driving. After about 20 minutes and going around the same block a few times, it was clear to Mary that Tom was lost. She finally suggested that he call for help. Tom became very silent. They eventually arrived at the party, but the tension from that moment persisted the whole evening. Mary had no idea of why he was so upset. From her side, she was saying, I love and care about you, so I am offering you this help. From his side, he was offended. What he heard was, I don't trust you to get us there. You are incompetent. Without knowing about life on Mars, Mary could not appreciate how important it was for Tom to accomplish his goal without help. Offering advice was the ultimate insult, as we have explored. Martians never offer advice unless asked. A way of honoring another Martian is always to assume he can solve his problem unless he is asking for help. So remember that one, women. So if man will not ask help, don't help them. Okay. Okay. Mary had no idea that when Tom became lost and started circling the same block, it was a very special opportunity to love and support him. At that time, he was particularly vulnerable and needed some extra love. To honor him by not offering advice would have been a gift equivalent to his buying her a beautiful bouquet of flowers or writing her a love note. After learning about Martians and Venusians, Mary learned to support Tom at such difficult times. The next time he was lost, instead of offering help, she restrained herself from offering any advice. took a deep, relaxing breath, and appreciated in her heart what Tom was trying to do for her. Tom greatly appreciated her warm acceptance and trust. Generally speaking, when a woman offers unsolicited advice or tries to help a man, she has no idea of how critical and unloving she may sound to him, even though her intent is loving. Her suggestions do offend and hurt. His reaction may be strong, especially if he felt criticized as a child or he experienced his father being criticized by his mother. Generally speaking, when a woman offers unsolicited advice or tries to help, this is the highlighted part. Generally speaking, when a woman offers unsolicited advice or tries to help a man, she has no idea of how critical and unloving she may sound to him. Yes, you're just listening. Yes, it's okay. Just listen. No need. Actually, like this live streaming for men are from Venus. I also listen this every night. The introduction after I do the live stream, I just like play it and then just listen just for me to remember. Okay, for many men, it is very important to prove that they can get to their goal, even if it is a small thing like driving to a restaurant or party. Ironically, he may be more sensitive about the little things than the big. His feelings are like this: if I can't be trusted to do a small thing like get us to a party, how can she trust me to do the bigger things? Like their Martian ancestors, men pride themselves on being experts, especially when it comes to fixing mechanical things, getting places, or solving problems. These are the times when he needs her loving acceptance the most and not her advice or criticism. Okay, now, learning to listen. Likewise, if a man does not understand how a woman is different, he can make things worse when he is trying to help. Men need to remember that women talk about problems to get close and not necessarily to get solutions. Remember that. We talk about the problems to get close and not necessarily to get solutions. So many times, a woman just wants to share her feelings about her day, and her husband, thinking he is helping, interrupts her by offering a steady flow of solutions to her problems. He has no idea why she isn't pleased. So, the highlighted part, many times a woman just wants to share her feelings about her day, and her husband, thinking he is helping, interrupts her by offering a steady flow of solutions to her problems. For example, Mary comes home from an exhausting day. She wants and needs to share her feelings about the day. She says, "There is so much to do. I don't have any time for myself." Tom says, "You should quit that job. You don't have to work so hard. Find something you like to do." Mary says, "But I like my job. They just expect me to change everything at a moment's notice. Tom says, "Don't listen to them. Just do what you can." Mary says, "I am. I can't believe I completely forgot to call my aunt today." Tom says, "Don't worry about it. She'll understand." Mary says, "Do you know what she is going through? She needs me." Tom says, "You worry too much. That's why you're so unhappy." Mary angrily says, "I am not always unhappy. Can't you just listen to me?" Tom says, "I am listening." Mary says, "Why do I even bother?" After this conversation, Mary was more frustrated than she was arrived home seeking intimacy and companionship. Tom was also frustrated and had no idea what went wrong. He wanted to help, but his problem solving tactics didn't work. Without knowing about life on Venus, Tom didn't understand how important it was just to listen without offering solutions. His solutions only made things worse. You see, Venusians never offer solutions when someone is talking. A way of honoring another Venusian is to listen patiently with empathy, seeking truly to understand the other's feelings. Tom had no idea that just listening while empathy to Mary express her feelings would bring her tremendous relief and fulfillment. When Tom heard about the Venusians and how much they needed to talk, he gradually learned how to listen. When Mary now comes home tired and exhausted, their conversation are quite different. They sound like this. Mary says, "There is so much to do. I have no time for me." Tom takes a deep breath, relaxes on the exhale, and says, sounds like you had a hard day." Mary says, "They expect me to change everything at a moment's notice. I don't know what to do." Tom pauses and then says, "Hmm." Mary says, "I even forgot to call my aunt." Tom says, with a slightly wrinkled brow, "Oh no." Mary says, "She needs me so much right now. I feel so bad." Tom says, "You are such a loving person. Come here, let me give you a hug." Tom gives Mary a hug and she relaxes in his arms with a big sigh of relief. She then says, "I love talking with you. You make me really happy. Thanks for listening. I feel much better." Not only Mary but also Tom felt better. He was amazed at how much happier his wife was when he finally learned to listen. With this new awareness of their differences, Tom learned the wisdom of listening without offering solutions, while Mary learned the wisdom of letting go and accepting without offering unsolicited advice or criticism. To summarize the two most common mistakes we make in relationships: number one, a man tries to change a woman's feelings when she is upset by becoming Mr. Fix It and offering solutions to her problems that invalidate her feelings. Number two, women tries to change a man's behavior when he makes mistakes by becoming the home improvement committee and offering unsolicited advice or criticism. In defense of Mr. Fix It and Home Improvement Committee, in pointing out these two major mistakes, I do not mean that everything is wrong with Mr. Fix It or the Home Improvement Committee. These are very positive Martian and Venusian attributes. The mistakes are only in timing and approach. A woman greatly appreciates Mr. Fix It as long as he doesn't come out when she is upset. Okay, remember that. Men need to remember that when women seem upset and talk about problems is not the time to offer solutions. Instead, she needs to be heard and gradually she will feel better on her own. She does not need to be fixed. She does need to be heard. A man greatly appreciates the home improvement committee as long as it is requested. Women need to remember that unsolicited advice or criticism, especially if he has made a mistake, makes him feel unloved and controlled. He needs her acceptance more than her advice. In order to learn from his mistakes, when a man feels that a woman is not trying to improve him, he is much more likely to ask for her feedback and advice. So, the highlighted part: when our partner resists us, it is probably because we have made a mistake in our timing and approach. Understanding these differences makes it easier to respect our partner's sensitivities and be more supportive. In addition, we recognize that when our partner resists us, it is probably because we have made a mistake in our timing or approach. Let's explore this in a greater detail. When a woman resists a man's solutions. When a woman resists a man's solutions, he feels his competence is being questioned. As a result, he feels mistrusted, unappreciated, and stops caring. His willingness to listen understandably lessens. By remembering that women are from Venus, a man at such times can instead understand why she is resisting him. He can reflect and discover how he was probably offering solutions at a time when she was needing empathy and nurturing. Here are some brief examples of how Here are brief examples of ways a man might mistakenly invalidate feelings and perceptions or offer unwanted solutions. See if you can recognize why she would resist. Number 1, you shouldn't worry so much. Number 2, but that is not what I said. Number 3, it's not such a big deal. Number 4, okay, I'm sorry. Now we can just forget it. Number 5, why don't you just do it? Number 6, but we do talk. Number 7, you shouldn't feel hurt. That's not what I meant. Number 8, so what are you trying to say? Number 9, but you shouldn't feel that way. Number 10, how can you say that? Last week I spent the whole day with you. We had a great time. Number 11, okay then, just forget it. 12, all right, I'll clean up the backyard. Does that make you happy? Number 13, I got it. This is what you should do. 14, look, there's nothing we can do about it. Number 15, if you are going to complain about doing it, then don't do it. 16, why do you let people treat you that way? Forget them. 17, if you're not happy, then we should just get a divorce. 18, all right, then you can do it from now on. 19, from now on, I will handle it. 20, of course, I care about you. That's ridiculous. 21, would you get to the point? 22, all we have to do is blah, blah, blah. 23, that's not at all what happened. Okay, so each of these statements either invalidates or attempts to explain upset feelings or offers a solution designed suddenly to change her negative feelings to positive feelings. The first step a man can take to change this pattern is simply to stop making the above comments. We explore this topic more fully in Chapter 5. To practice listening without offering any invalidating comments or solutions is, however, a big step, sorry. By clearly understanding that his timing and delivery are being rejected and not his solutions, a man can handle a woman's resistance much better. He doesn't take it to so personally. By learning to listen, gradually he will experience that she will appreciate him more even when at first she is upset with him. So when a man resists the home improvement committee, when a man resists a woman's suggestions, she feels as though he doesn't care. She feels her needs are not being respected. As a result, she understandably feels unsupported and stops trusting him. At such times, by remembering that men are from Mars, she can instead correctly understand why he is resisting her. She can reflect and discover how she was probably giving him unsolicited advice or criticism rather than simply sharing her needs, providing information, or making a request. Here are some brief examples of ways a woman might unknowingly annoy a man by offering advice or seemingly harmless criticism. As you explore this list, remember that these little things can add up to create big walls of resistance and resentment. In some of the statements that advice or criticism is hidden, see if you can recognize why he might feel controlled. Okay, number 1, how can you think of buying that? You already have one. 2, those dishes are still wet. They'll dry with spots. 3, your hair is getting kind of long, isn't it? Number 4, there's a parking spot over there. Turn the car around. 5. You want to spend time with your friends. What about me? 6. You shouldn't work so hard. Take a day off. 7. Don't put that there. It will get lost. 8. You should call a plumber. He'll know what to do. 9. Why are we waiting for a table? Didn't you make reservations? 10. You should spend more time with the kids. They miss you. 11. Your office is still a mess. How can you think in here? When are you going to clean it up? 12. You forgot to bring it home again. Maybe you could put it in a special place where you can remember it. 13. You're driving too fast. Slow down or you'll get a ticket. 14. Next time we should read the movie reviews. 15. I didn't know where you were. You should have called me. 16. Somebody drank from the juice bottle. 17. Don't eat with your fingers. You're setting a bad example. 18. Those potato chips are too greasy. They're not good for your heart. 19. You are not leaving yourself enough time. 20. You should give me more advice or notice. I can't just drop everything and go to lunch with you. 21. Your shirt doesn't match your pants. 22. Bill called for the third time. When are you going to call him back? 23. Your toolbox is such a mess. I can't find anything. You should organize it. When a woman does not know, okay, when a woman does not know how to directly ask a man for support or constructively share a difference of opinion, she may feel powerless to get what she needs without giving unsolicited advice or criticism. Again, we explore this topic to more fully later on. To practice giving acceptance and not giving advice and criticism is, however, a big step. By clearly understanding he is rejecting not her needs but the way she approaching him, she can take his rejection less personally and explore more supportive ways of communicating her needs. Gradually, she will realize that a man wants to make improvements when he feels he is being approached as the result to a problem rather than as the problem itself. So, the highlighted part, a man wants to make improvements when he feels he is being approached as the solution to a problem rather than as the problem itself. If you are a woman, I suggest that for the next week, practice restraining from giving any unsolicited advice or criticism. The man in your life not only will appreciate it, but also will be more attentive and responsive to you. If you are a man, I suggest that for the next week, your practice listening whenever a woman speaks with the sole intention of respectfully understanding what she is going through. Practice biting your tongue whenever you get the urge to offer a solution or change how she is feeling. You will be surprised when you experience how much she appreciates you. Okay, so that is the part one and part two of Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. So if you have some comments, ideas, and suggestions about the part one and part two, just comment down below. And once again, thank you for watching or thank you for listening to my book reading about Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus. Let's all learn how to have a good relationship if you are currently with your partner and if you are planning to have a partner. So, this book is the best. So, once again, thank you for um, listening and thank you for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe my channel and please subscribe Texpat Robert Rice as well and Ren 26 TV. And don't forget to ring the bell so every time I will do the live stream for this book, you will be notified. And in the future, for sure, I will be reading this book every Saturday evening after my online class at 51 Talk. So, once again, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Or if you are in another part of the world, have a wonderful day ahead of you. So, thank you for watching. Bye. Good night.